Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about tech and everyday carry pouches, and there are tons of great options on the market nowadays. It feels like there's new ones coming out all the time, and I've done a couple of videos in the past where I've shared some of my favorites. For this one, I wanted to focus on wax canvas and more heritage style pouches. I've been trying out a lot of these types of bags over the past year, and I always like having a pouch or accessory that just matches up with the aesthetic of the bag that I'm using. So if you enjoy wax canvas bags and you're looking for that style of pouch, these will be some interesting ones to keep in mind, or at least provide some inspiration to get you started. So excited to dive in. Before doing so, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The Goruck wire Dopp has been one of my favorite tech organizers for a few years now, so of course when it was released in wax canvas, I just had to pick one of them up. I really love the form factor of this pouch. That's always been one of the things that stood out to me about it, was how flat it manages to stay even when you have some bulkier items on the inside. It is a little bit of a larger pouch as far as its footprint, but again, that's what allows it to stay a little bit flatter. And so like the wire Dopp that I featured on the channel in the past, this has the same sort of style. You have the buckle that secures the pouch with a little bit of adjustability. You have a Velcro area on the front with an included patch here, which looks great, and you have the wax canvas exterior. You can see some markings starting to show as I've used the pouch a little bit. And then even though I have some items in here, you can see that this is the type of thing that will work well with some of these slimmer pouches that Goruck's bags have. And then, you know, it's a very simple pouch. You just open this up, you can lay it flat, and then you have two sections, one on each side. The first one is this larger area, which is great for bulkier charging cables and accessories, perfect for something like your MacBook charger. So that fits in there comfortably. I also have a larger portable battery, and so this is just one large mesh compartment. On the other side, you have two zippered compartments with mesh. There's a divider down the middle, and so perfect for smaller items. Here I have my Apple AirPods, I have a retractable USB-C cable, and then on the other side, I have my Apple Magic Mouse. And so I really like that the pouch doesn't go overboard as far as organization. This is what helps it stand out among so many of the other pouches that I see on the market. Goruck, of course, also has their popular field pockets, and I believe that they have some wax canvas versions, but in their ecosystem of pouches, the wire Dopp still continues to be the one that I gravitate towards the most. Lochby has a couple of really interesting heritage style accessories. Here I have two items from their lineup. One of them is more of a tool roll style organizer, so you have a G-hook that wraps around the pouch to keep everything secure. You can adjust it. There's a couple of different levels here that you can adjust it to depending on how loaded out it is, and then it unwraps. And this is an interesting accessory if you have a lot of items that are a little bit taller. So if you're an artist or somebody who takes a lot of notes, this is going to be great for, you know, various pens, markers, pencils. But this can also be used for all sorts of EDC tools, multi-tools, pocket knives, flashlights, dongles, cables. So you have a lot of flexibility. There's a couple of different sizes here as far as the bands, and you have some slip pockets behind those bands. So you do have a variety of ways to organize, and on the bottom, you have this mesh zippered area for smaller items that you don't want getting lost. And then, you know, you can kind of close it all up, and it has this interesting form factor. I'm not always as crazy about the tool roll style bags. I like them in theory, but once you load everything out, I find that they can be a little bulkier than what I like to use, and also just don't always match up with the types of items that I'm carrying most regularly. And that's where I have been a huge fan of this other pouch that they have. If you've been watching any of my videos over the past few months, this is something that is always in my bag, as I just love the aesthetic and also the fact that it's not a super rigid pouch, and so it really adapts to anything that I want to place on the inside. And so in addition to the nice exterior aesthetic, you have, you know, carrying handle to allow you to pull it in and out of the bag easily, some attachment points that allow you to clip it onto a bag with a carabiner, or you can also attach a strap if you want to turn this into a sling. And then I really love the layout of this pouch, because you have one section that opens up and it has a variety of bands on the inside that will work well for things like cables, dongles. You can use it to store pens, flashlights, so more EDC type accessories. And then you have a section that is a little bit larger that will be great for bulkier tech items. So I have charging blocks in here, portable battery, you have two sections here. So one that's just kind of a larger open space. I have more laptop charger, Peak Design stand, and then you have a divider in the middle. On the other side, you again have a section with a nice amount of capacity here. So it'll just adapt to whatever you want to store in there. And on the back, you have a couple of mesh slip pockets. And in this, I have my portable hard drive, and they have Velcro here to help secure the items if you want. And then next to that, I have the USB cable for that hard drive, as well as an air tag tucked away. So pretty simple layout here, but a nice amount of versatility with the two compartments that are offered. Everything, is very thoughtfully laid out. And if you're looking for, a tech and everyday carry pouch that's gonna give you that flexibility with the aesthetic, and this is gonna be a really great option to take a look at. The Civic Access Pouch 1 liter feels like Evergoods' take on something like the Goruck wire Dopp. So it's a pouch that can get a little flatter when it's not as full, but can also adapt to when you have more items on the inside. And so it has, a really nice form factor. The version that I have here is the Griffin collaboration Civic Access Pouch 1 liter, which unfortunately is not easy to get. So this will be something that you might need to pick up on the secondhand market if you want this specific version that has the wax canvas exterior. Whether you get that version or the nylon editions, you still have, just this really nice form factor, the patch on the exterior. One thing that is unique to this collaboration, and part of the reason why it felt like such a great fit for this list, is that instead of using magnets, this version of the Civic Access Pouch uses this really interesting string closure system. It, feels like an old school sort of envelope, which I really like. Now, I'm a big fan of the regular Civic Access Pouch with the magnets. I do think that that's a little quicker, but there is something about this system which just feels right when you're using it with this style here. And so regardless of which one you get, you do have some level of adjustability. I do think this gives you a little more flexibility as far as, being able to leave this open a little bit looser. You can still tighten it if you want to, versus the magnets where they're pretty strong, but it just doesn't feel like you can adapt it quite as much as far as the volume, especially once it starts to get fuller. And then on the inside with the collaboration version, you have, of course, the bright orange interior, which some people like, some people aren't as crazy about. And then the layout here is meant to work, whether you store this flat to be able to fit into a tighter space, or if you close it up. And then you have, two sides with their own organization. In the middle, you have a slot for a pen or a stylus. And then on one side, you have a larger compartment. It is split with a divider, so you have two sections on the inside, and one of them I just have a notebook and a cleaning cloth for my sunglasses. And then on the back, you can see that there is some volume to these sections, and so that's where it can start to feel bulkier when you're storing items like a little medical kit, which I have here, a bulkier retractable HDMI cable, and then I also have the suction cup accessory that I featured in a video not too long ago. And then on the other side, you have the front section divided into two separate compartments. And so you have this divider down the middle. One side is a little larger, can hold something like my Peak Design tripod. And then the other one is able to hold my retractable USB-C cable. On the back here, you have enough volume for, kind of my common tech items, a mouse and my AirPods. And so, not going overboard with organization here either. And I like the adaptability that this provides. Again, whether it's in wax canvas or the nylon, this is a really versatile pouch. I actually feature the nylon one in most of my videos these days, as it's a pouch that I always have on me. The Commander pouch from Nutsac is a really useful wax canvas organizer. I really like the form factor and the layout of this one. It's made in the USA, and the materials just feel super rugged. You have the nice patch on the exterior with the logo, really nice zipper pulls, YKK zippers on the exterior. You have webbing that you can use to clip on additional items or attach this onto another bag. And then you have a slip pocket on the front that's going to be good for something like a field notes notebook, anything that you just want to grab a little bit more quickly. And then it opens up like a book, and you have organization that's spread throughout. And on one side, you have a taller slip pocket that can hold that portable battery that I've been showing in a few videos. And then you have a few larger elastic bands here. So perfect for something like my laptop charger's cable. It's able to just hold securely there. In the middle, you have a couple of small slots for items like a flashlight or a pen. And then on the other side, you have additional slip pockets and organization. As with many of these pouches that have a lot of built-in ways to organize your stuff, you have to be a little bit strategic with how you place the items on the inside. In my case, I had bulkier items on the back slip pockets here in this one. Again, this one is tall and plenty of space. I just tossed in my AirPods, and I also have the wall adapter for my laptop charger. And so with those things on the back, it made it a little tough to take full advantage of all the slots here on the front. You do have a few different options for other sort of pocket knives and everyday carry accessories. I actually have my Leatherman, which fit in here very smoothly, but you have webbing along the front. You have a couple of slip pockets on the bottom. You can pair that with the webbing. And so, you know, depending on the items that you're carrying, this will adapt and give you a nice variety of options. And if you want something that's, you know, going to be very rugged and have that really nice heritage vibe, then this is going to be an excellent one to consider. The Bellroy Classic Pouch isn't one that I've talked about as much lately, but this has been one of my favorite pouches for a number of years now. I actually included it in my roundup where I talked about some of my favorite slim organizer pouches. And you know, it might not have the exact same heritage vibe as some of the other items in this roundup, but I do feel like it has a more kind of classic, rugged aesthetic. The material here is a little less sleek looking than some of Bellroy's other tech pouches. You also have a more kind of classic zipper here, nice accenting on the zipper pull. And then this is a very simple pouch that does, you know, what it needs to do very well. I like that it's not super rigid, so this is one of those things that I like in pouches that allows them to squeeze into a tighter bag when there's not as much space. And then, you know, very simple aesthetic, but very durable. On the inside, you have a really nice layout, and so open space in the middle for something a little bulkier like my USB-C hub, which I typically have with me, so that fits right in the middle. Any sort of laptop charger will fit there. And then you have a few slip pockets on one side with that nice elastic Bellroy material here, which is going to be great for, you know, portable hard drive. I have Apple Magic Mouse that slides in there. And then on the other side, you have just an additional, you know, slightly larger slip pocket that's going to be great for anything else you want to tuck in. I have a field notes in there, an extra USB-C cable for my laptop. And so nothing super crazy here, but you know, just offering the right amount of organization, flexibility, and then, you know, adaptability depending on what you want to carry. And if you want something simple, then, you know, this is going to be a really great option still after all these years. Here I have a more compact and budget-friendly option, and I really like having pouches in a variety of sizes as you don't always need a huge pouch, and I like being able to separate and organize my stuff in different ways. And so I like that this one almost feels like a pocket organizer. It might feel a little too large for typical carry in a pocket, but if I was to use a pocket organizer or something in that form factor, this really, you know, kind of checks off the boxes for what I'd be looking for. So as far as the aesthetic and the vibe, you know, it's got that heritage appearance, really nice material. And then you have some pockets on the outside. One is a larger slip pocket here on the front that can handle a Leatherman. On the back, you have small slots for pen, flashlight, pocket knife. You also have a taller slip pocket for a notebook or something like that. And then you have a zippered compartment that you can use for cash, smaller accessories, or tech gear like I have here. I have my mouse, and then I have an extra cable. And yeah, I didn't go overboard as far as storing a ton of things in here, but you know, with this simple layout, it's able to hold a good amount, and then it manages to stay very slim if you're not carrying quite as much stuff. Very simple. It could also maybe function, as I was saying, as a pocket organizer, maybe a wallet. And so really like the versatility. And again, at a more budget-friendly price point, this was something that I was excited to add to my everyday carry. Sometimes all you need is a simple pouch to provide a little bit of organization in a larger bag. And for that purpose, this option from Hide and Drink works very well. It's not super rigid, so it offers a ton of flexibility. It's going to adapt to the items that you place on the inside. It can get super slim. It can expand a little bit if you want to store something that's thicker. And you know, this just has the one zipper, so very simple. You have the label on the outside, nothing on the back. You have this nice material. The zipper works well. And then I really like this size as it doesn't feel too big or too small. As a tech pouch, it's not going to offer any padding, but it does hold my laptop charger, my mouse, very comfortably. Other types of cables would be able to fit in there super easily. You can see on the inside, there's no added organization. It's fairly lightweight. This could also work as a toiletry bag if you like to keep things simple. This is the type of bag that I like when I'm traveling more minimally. I could just toss in my most commonly used toiletries, and then it's not gonna take up a ton of space in my bag. So if you're looking for something simple that looks great and it's also gonna be a little bit more budget friendly, then this is gonna be an excellent option to consider. And so that's it. Those are some of my favorite wax, canvas, and heritage style pouches. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on the items that I featured in the video or suggestions for similar pouches that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to some of the other roundup videos that I've done where I've talked about my favorite newer, larger tech and EDC pouches, some of my favorite slim pouches for more minimal travel. And I'll include some links to roundup videos where I've covered my favorite tech and EDC backpacks, my favorite one bag travel options. And if you have ideas for other roundup videos that you'd like to see, definitely let me know about those as well. And I want to thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.